When Suicide Squad was released in 2016, it didn't resemble what the director had originally envisioned, as Warner Brothers didn't see eye to eye with David Ayer. Years after the movie was first released, there were leaks of his original Suicide Squad cut. What are the scenes that were revealed? Also, what does David Ayer have to say about the release of his original cut of Suicide Squad? Watch this video to the end to find out. Firstly, Suicide Squad director cut. Every new Ayer cut scene and detail revealed. First on the list is that Batman was much darker. Batman captures Will Smith's Deadshot in the 2016 version of Suicide Squad, as the criminal is out shopping with his daughter. Batman doesn't want to fight while the child is around, but Deadshot keeps trying to fight. However, in Ayer's initial plan flashback, Batman actually made fun of his prey by assuring Deadshot that she would be much older when he next saw her, as the Ayer statement feels wildly out of character for even Ben Affleck's troubled Caped Crusader. This is one of the variant scenes that possibly works better in the final edit. Secondly, Harley Quinn and the Joker's origin changes, with many of the tweeted script pages referring to Harley Quinn's time as the Clown Princess. The Ayer cut leaks make clear of how much Jared Leto's Joker was deleted from Suicide Squad. Ayer's original concept is quite close to the flashback scene where Joker inserts twin electrodes on Harley's temples, but with one noticeable exclusion. When the Joker said, "Forget you ever met me" to Harley, the leaked script page revealed that something else was said. The Ayer version, although still extremely unsettling, feels more poignant for Harley's long-term character growth and meshes better with the ensuing road chase scene in which Joker alludes to Harley's perseverance as a pain in the ass. Next is Joker's Arkham Assault. David Ayer previously acknowledged in September 2020 that the opening of his Suicide Squad had a lengthy montage of the Joker attacking Arkham Asylum. Indeed, this invasion is mentioned in the latest leaks, which depict a tense confrontation between Arkham guards and the Joker's paramilitary goons, as confused patients watch in fear. Then there is Monster T's darker death. After rejecting the clown's gift of Harley Quinn, the unlucky Monster T is ultimately put to death by the Joker, but his initial demise was much more gruesome. Joker and Harley continue the gift-giving ruse, and Mr. J even gives Monster T a gun so he can shoot her if he wants to. The Joker ironically praises T's brains as the thug quickly commits suicide after realizing that he has been told to do it. This explanation makes a lot more sense, relatively speaking, and does a better job of presenting the Joker as a cunning psychopath. Another scene is Killer Croc's Deadshot connection. A fascinating mid-mission discussion involves Killer Croc asking Deadshot to help him scratch off some names in Gotham. Will Smith questions whether his scaled friend can pay the high amount, but Croc admits that he has already employed Deadshot, paying the mercenary to remove a target's heart and send it to him. This not only strengthens the bonds among Task Force X members, but also gives Killer Croc's backstory some much-needed substance. Rick Flag intentionally crashes a fuel tanker in another scene that's missing. Rick then asks Captain Boomerang to use an exploding projectile to blow up the gas leak. The character played by Jay Courtney complies, causing a huge explosion. Another scene involves the failsafe mode. After the Joker Van Chris sequence, the Suicide Squad and Deadshot hardly have time to digest Harley's sudden departure when the Ayer screenplay has them all abruptly realize that their neck detonators are flashing red. Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, Killer Croc, and Diablo are informed by Waller that they have 5 minutes to live. In another scene, Joker gets in bed with the law. Dr. Van Chris was required by Joker in order to locate Harley, but in order to get to Van Chris, the Clown Prince must first scare Judge Whitman, which he accomplishes by kidnapping the judge's wife and substituting her for him in the couple's bed. The sequence was missed, and it would have given Jared Leto's unconventional performance some much-needed classic Joker humor. Harley and Joker's awkward reunion is also in the cut. In Suicide Squad, Joker and Harley Quinn only briefly reunite. The couple shares a kiss inside the chopper that has been taken over, but when a missile strikes, Harley sort of falls, sort of gets pushed out of the open side door, and Joker frantically reaches after her. In the original script, Harley and Joker's helicopter journey is handled differently. The Joker stiff-arms Harley when she tries to hug him and laments having to save his companion in crime. Once more, this sows discontent between the two, pushing Quinn beyond the love-struck follower she became in Suicide Squad. Interestingly, there was romance between Deadshot and Harley Quinn. There have long been rumors that the Suicide Squad had a romance subplot between Deadshot and Harley Quinn. Several scenes in the movie itself hint at the engagement, and director director David Ayer stated in May 2020 how reshoots eliminated his intended pairing of the male and female stars. One of the latest leaks is a still image from a deleted scene in which Deadshot and Harley share their first kiss. It may be argued that sending Harley Quinn directly from one relationship to another does little to help the character's independence, something James Gunn's The Suicide Squad handles much better. Also, Enchantress possesses katana. Pages from the Task Force X vs. Enchantress fight show an extended version of the Suicide Squad's last combat, in which katana is controlled by a flailing tendril, compared to the theatrical cut when Karen Fukuhara's character essentially vanished into obscurity. This seems far more intriguing right away. Then, while under the influence of Enchantress, Killer Croc tries to reclaim a liberated katana, but Harley manages to blast her fishy companion free. There was an additional sequel scene. Bruce Wayne cautions Amanda Waller to end Task Force X in the last scene of Suicide Squad. This occurs in the Ayer cut as well, although the mid-credit scene originally concluded with Waller frantically learning that Joker had managed to free Harley Quinn, possibly setting up the Suicide Squad's next mission, or at the very least, a future for Jared Leto's DCEU Joker. David Ayer claims that the director's cut of Suicide Squad might be released. David Ayer claims that his Suicide Squad cut might eventually be made public. Following a fervent fan movement, Zack Snyder's original Justice League cut was made available on HBO Max. Fans are attempting to get Warner Bros. Discovery to release another DC Universe film, which is director David Ayer's 2016 Suicide Squad cut. Despite a similar campaign, it's been made clear by both the prior and current Warner Bros. Administrations that they do not have any immediate plans to release the Ayer cut. Ayer's Suicide Squad cut was one of the fan campaigns that James Gunn, who was recently named the co-CEO of DC Studios, addressed. The head of DC Studios acknowledged everyone's statements, but made it clear that DCU is all about progress. A fan recently questioned how Ayer maintains a good connection with Gunn while not sharing his initial version, to which the director had reacted politely, as a response to attempts by some to set the directors against one another. Ayer said that Gunn had always been good and polite to him. Although Ayer's Suicide Squad edit is not currently scheduled for release by DC Studios, he made it clear that he still wants it to be seen, and that he believes there is a legitimate shot at eventually sharing it with the public. When might the Ayer cut of the Suicide Squad be released? Gunn and co-CEO Peter Safran, who will manage the division's business operations, have been in their positions for less than a month, as DC Studios formally began on November 1st. As the new heads of television, motion pictures, and animation for Warner Bros. Discovery's DC brand, Gunn and Safran are still settling in at DC Studios and starting to lay out their grand 10-year plan for the DCU. It doesn't necessarily follow that Ayer's Suicide Squad won't be included in those plans in the future either, just because it isn't now. The Suicide Squad, which Gunn wrote and directed in 2021, has not progressed despite the fact that he is one of the co-leaders of DC Studios. It makes perfect sense why the co-CEO would not be concentrating on Ayer's initial cut, if Gunn isn't even focusing on the franchise he started working on when he joined the DC Universe. Ayer's Suicide Squad cut might be released worldwide during the next 4 to 5 years, if it makes sense as part of their plan, once they have their roadmap mapped out and Warner Bros. Discovery has given it complete approval. The complete merger of HBO Max and Discovery Plus, which will take place in the spring of 2023, may necessitate delaying its release. The DCU's future is the main emphasis of Warner Bros. Discovery and DC Studios, which means that expanding their interwoven franchise is their primary priority. It's important to keep in mind that even Ayer has stated that he has no issue with his Suicide Squad cut not being released anytime soon, as evidenced by his "it won't be tomorrow" remark. As DC Studios continues to plot its course for the future, let's hope that Ayer's Suicide Squad cut will ultimately get to be seen by the public in the years to come. What are your opinions on the leaked scenes from the original David Ayer Suicide Squad cut? What other topic do you want us to discuss? Let us know through the comment section. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for quick updates on future videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.